AskReddit by Evil Steve 1605. How would you describe the last decade to someone who just woke from a coma? I think I'd just rather get them to describe their coma in hopes that I forget the last decade. Well, I kept dreaming I was stuck in a zombie apocalypse. Lucky sob compared to what we got. It's like 1919, but with little computers that reverse educate people. BRB, got to go make 652 new Reddit accounts to upvote this. It's been shit, go back to sleep. Remember in Back to the Future 2, the alternative timeline where Biff is large and in charge and everything's gone to hell? Yeah, we all lived in that kind of timeline from 2016 to 2020. Ebola surges, and Robin Williams dies, but you'll wish that was the worst year. JFC, this one hits hard. It all started with a gorilla. Dicks out boys, always and forever for Harambe. So you want the bad news first or the bad news? Bad news first. PPSSSS. Nana died. You were lucky to be in a coma. I'd recommend you have a relapse. I would just scream in their face and shake them for an hour. Should get the point across as to how the decade felt for me at least. Good one, but what about the other 9 years? Farts into a tuba. I keep trying to picture what that would sound like, but all I get is intrusive thoughts of a slide whistle instead. We killed an innocent gorilla and, well, the world pretty much ended that day. It's all been downhill since. I would tell them to go watch Idiocracy to get prepared. The internet got both way better and way worse. Also there was a worldwide pandemic, and if you're lucky only your distant cousin died. If unlucky you had close family die. Sorry. I lost a close relative and a co-worker. The co-worker was in the covered ICU for a week, got better, and was sent home. He was dead a few days later when it came roaring back. The relative didn't die of COVID directly, but of lack of access to quality medical care when docs ignored his symptoms until he wound up in the ER. He was gone a week later. I'd let them know that Game of Thrones just stopped at season 6 for no reason. Prince died and then shit got weird. 2016 started with Bowie, but Robin Williams was 2014, so I'd start there. You lucky fucker. I'd first tell them there was a pandemic and more than 1 million people died from it in the US alone. They would be pretty horrified. And said disease didn't go away. Go back to sleep. It's worse. You know how that whole fascists are going to come wrapped in the flag and carrying the crosshair. America has melted down and returned to pre-1900 levels of misery. Go back to sleep, you'll thank me later. It's fucked, go back to sleep. Okay. So, people are way stupider. And everything is 10 times more expensive. There was a pandemic. Just Google it. That's the gist of it. Just Google it was so 2014. In 2024 it's now just ask unqualified strangers. Well, they still haven't found that plane. And, Donald Trump became president and incited a bunch of folks to disrupt the vote counting in an effort to remain as president after he lost. There was a pandemic that shut down the world. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl with the Bucks. Aaron Hernandez killed himself in prison. Also, 30% of the people you know are crazy now. Probably before, too, but they are really letting the flag fly now. Oh, and Bill Cosby. Same-sex marriage finally got legalized and the GOP lost its mind so bad that Donald Trump became president and turned the whole party into a cult of personality around him. He's also basically on trial for treason. He's guilty as fuck too. And the Supreme Court is just letting him run for president again. Oh, and there's been an airborne super plague for about 4 years now and everyone pretends it's not real. This is it. Although I'd say Trump is a response to our first black president than as a response to gay marriage. Smile. You're on candid camera all the time, everywhere you go.